Hello, my name is Alexia Sawyer, and today I'll be giving my Symposium 10 speech. An unsafe abortion is a termination of a pregnancy by people lacking the necessary skills, or in an environment lacking minimal medical standards, or both. An unsafe abortion is a life-threatening procedure. This is why people should advocate for women's health rights and stop the ban on accessible healthcare and abortions. In this speech, I will talk about 1. How an abortion ban will result in increased unsafe abortions and the fatalities associated with them. 2. Why government officials and religious groups want to ban access and defund these programs. And 3. What actions can be taken to properly advocate for women's health and reproductive rights. So first, we're going to talk about how an abortion ban will result in increased unsafe abortions and the fatalities associated with them. On May 31st, 2019, BU School of Public Health wrote that limiting access to abortions harms the health of women. Recently, Planned Parenthood President Dr. Leana Wen was criticized for saying that before Roe, thousands of women died of unsafe abortion-related deaths each year, and that if Roe falls, we could return to something like this reality. In the same article, BU School of Public Health also writes, countries where restrictive laws are currently making the practice less safe to do indeed face thousands of deaths related to unsafe abortion. Each year globally, at least 8% of global maternal deaths are estimated to have been caused by complications from unsafe abortion, with as many as 22,800 women dying annually. In addition, we know that deaths related to illegal abortion are likely just the tip of the iceberg of complications related to unsafe abortion. The most recent available data suggests that 7 million women were treated for complications from unsafe abortions, or an annual rate about 6.9 per 1,000 women ages 15 to 44. An unsafe abortion can lead to a wide range of health risks that can affect the well-being of women. The major and most life-threatening complications that stem from unsafe abortions are infections, hemorrhaging, and injury to internal organs. Unsafe abortions result in complications for about 7 million women a year. Unsafe abortions are some of the leading causes of deaths during pregnancy and childbirth, about 5 to 13% of all deaths during the period. Most unsafe abortions occur where abortion is illegal, or in developing countries where affordable and well-trained medical practitioners are not readily available. There are many harmful things that can be caused by the ban of affordable and accessible women's primary and preventative care. But I also want to talk about why government officials and religious organizations want to ban access to these programs and defund them. On March 8, 2018, Vox.com writes, a proposal goes further than the previous GOP attempts to defund Planned Parenthood. Previously, Republicans just wanted to cut off Medicaid dollars used for cancer screenings and other routine health care for the group. Federal law already prohibits direct funding to abortion under the Hyde Amendment. This latest proposal would block Medicaid and several other federal funding sources, a full cutoff of federal dollars going to the organizations. Though it is federal law that funding to abortion organizations cannot be used for the procedure of abortion, many people feel that completely defunding the program will help to stop people from terminating pregnancies. The Daily Signal writes, while according to the organization's most recent report, Planned Parenthood affiliates performed 327,000 abortions during the last reporting year. They only made 1,880 adoption referrals and provided 8,000 preventative services. Indeed, abortion accounted for 94% of the organization's pregnancy-related services. According to this article, Planned Parenthood mainly focuses on abortion rather than prenatal, preventative, and adoption services. This is why defunding the programs seems like the better idea to those who disagree with the idea of abortion. ACLJ.org on December 8, 2021 wrote, "There is no treaty or binding human rights law imposing an obligation on states to provide for an abortion. On the contrary, Article 6 of International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights obligates states to protect sanctity of life. The problem lies with the false interpretations of the covenant by experts who are already committed to abortion, who refuse to recognize that the right to life begins with conception." This is where many people feel that abortion should be illegal. They believe that once the baby is created inside you, it is a life that needs to be protected. So they feel that abortions are committing a murder. And that is why government officials and religious organizations wish to ban and defund these programs. But now I want to talk about how we can advocate for women's reproductive rights. All people need access to the full spectrum of reproductive healthcare services, including comprehensive sex education, contraception, maternity care, prenatal care, and abortion. There are many steps that can be taken to ensure our voices are heard. According to ACLU.com, we can preserve the stories of those who have needed an abortion. The Supreme Court's 1973 decision of Roe v. Wade will help the younger generations before us better understand what is at stake. Talking about why women need abortions today and discussing the obstacles they often encounter will remind everyone the importance of achieving reproductive freedom for all. National Women's Health Network wrote on May 30th, 2019, that most people have no idea how common abortion is, or that 1/4 of women will have an abortion by the time they're 45. It's important to stress that people have very different feelings about having an abortion. This helps make others feel supported, helps reduce stigma, and raises awareness that abortion narratives are often criticized by relief. The idea that everyone has a hard time deciding to have an abortion is neither helpful nor accurate. For many people, the hardest part of having an abortion is dealing with the stigma attached to the procedure. We can advocate for these rights by writing to legislatures and to our state about our experience and our feelings about this ban. In this speech, I discussed the reasons why accessible women's healthcare and abortion should remain legal. The first thing we talked about was how an abortion ban will result in more unsafe abortions and the fatalities that are associated with them. We also talked about why government officials and religious organizations want to ban access to defund these programs. And third, we talked about actions that can be taken to properly advocate for women's health and reproductive rights. Unsafe abortions account for so many deaths per year, and this is why people should advocate for women's health rights and stop the ban on accessible healthcare and abortions. I do not wish to see affordable and accessible care taken away from women. Many people who use these programs are in the lower income and poverty lines, where insurance and care are hard to come by. No one should be subject to limited access by the government. My body, my choice, always.